Whoops, here comes Video Snapchat because I am pissed off. If any of you still don't know, about 50 people were killed today in a shooting at a gay bar. And it's actually recorded as the worst, most deadly mass shooting in U.S. history. Also, this week is Pride Week, so everyone is freaking out right now. But now a lot of the LGBTQA people feel really nervous about going to these Pride events because of the shooting and because of an incident that happened at LA Pride. And then to make things even worse, in the wake of this worst shooting in U.S. history, Donald Trump tweets out that he called it and that this guy was a radical Islamist. And then there's another guy who's a pastor who was saying that it was good that they died because it's 50 less pedophiles in the world. And then, of course, good old Onision goes on Twitter and makes it about religion because the hashtag is hashtag pray for Orlando, and that's bad because God is terrible. What we need to be doing is showing support for LGBTQA plus people and the families and loved ones of the victims of the shooting. Now is not the time for you to get up on your soapbox and bitch about religion, even if it's against Christianity. And don't even make this about ISIS right now. The guy said he wasn't ISIS, but that's not the point. The bar where the shooting took place in Orlando, Florida was called Pulse, and it was actually an extremely notable gay bar in the area. So the guy knew what he was doing. He was going out to kill gay people. This is a hate crime. And that doesn't mean at all that all Muslim people don't like gay people. There are plenty of Muslim gay people. Putting this guy in a box with innocent people is just allowing him to prevent taking responsibility for the terrible thing that he did. If you distribute all the nails of this punishment evenly, it's not going to hurt him. You have to put them all on top of him and squish him down. That being said, the actual shooter was killed in a gunfight with the police. But that still doesn't mean that we get to give him a free pass. He did a terrible thing. He did the worst thing that a guy with a gun has done in U.S. history. And do you feel like you can blame the entire Muslim population for that? By saying that he's working with ISIS, this guy was effectively trying to take the attention off of that he killed people because they were gay and put it on the Muslim people. We can't be like this guy. We can't take an entire subsect of people and begin to hate them just because this guy was one of them. The man's father said that he was aggravated because he saw two gay people kissing on the street. And I'm sorry, but watching two gay people kiss is not enough for you to cause the worst mass shooting in U.S. history. This is stemmed from centuries of systematic homophobia. Around this time last year, the LGBTQA plus community was rejoicing over the fact that marriage equality was passed. But now we're afraid to go outside because we might get shot. Homophobia isn't over. Racism isn't over. Sexism is not over. Islamophobia is most definitely not over. After the shooting early this morning, a man was found with a gun and bomb supplies at the LA Pride Parade. The violence is escalating and we don't know how much further it will go. We're being brought back to a time where we don't feel safe, even in our safe spaces like a gay bar or a pride parade. The violence has to stop, and it's not going to stop if we don't make changes in our legislature. We value an amendment in our Constitution written when muskets were being used that took minutes to reload over the lives of our people. Our founding fathers would have had no way to know about the massive weapons that we would have today, like the assault rifles used during the shooting today. There have been more shootings in 2016 than days in 2016. We have a gun control problem. My entire heart goes out to the loved ones of those who were injured or killed in the shooting, as well as those in the LGBTQA plus community who don't feel safe going to Pride. And especially the ones that did feel safe going to Pride until someone brought a gun. There are people who happily came out to the world who are now afraid to walk the streets for fear that they might be hurt. Everyone who was killed in the shooting this morning, rest in power.